mistakes and I start literally walking into like the cabinets and bumping things. I'm like, okay.
Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now? Let us know. All right. We've had no sound for a little bit, and I want to make sure that people can hear us. Lauren's calling me. Hello, we're not getting any audio on Facebook. Are we getting audio on Facebook now? Someone give up something. Hooray, we have sound.
Yay.
So we're going to start this conversation. I apologize if you've been listening to us on Lemonadio and you're like, why are we talking about this again? We're starting all over for our social media friends who have not been hearing us. They've just been seeing us flail around and wave our hands up and down.
Normal morning.
Good morning, everybody. I've got Brandy Walsh, owner of Herbivore Patisserie, and she is here with these beautiful baked goods that, by the way, she made in 45 minutes this morning just because.
Just because. Why not?
Unbelievable. So we were talking before we were interrupted about the beginnings of this story. So you kind of found this space of, you were a baker.
Yes.
And then you were baking at Scargo.
Yeah, for staff. So if it was like a birthday or a special occasion, they would know, oh, Brandy's going to bring in treats.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you were the baking lady, but like unofficially the baking lady.
Unofficially, I was like the treat the staff. It's their birthday. Let's make it to do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Marty says, talk about a small entrepreneurial success story.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
I know, but you really are. You've taken this glimmer of an idea, this passion for baking, and grown it from your vending machine that you've got in the mall. If you've seen that cute little pink vending machine in the mall, to opening your brick and mortar this month.
Yes.
Like this month.
This month. Yes. I have the keys. I'll be painting this week, calling plumbers and electricians to come and install the final touches, and then just baking like a crazy person for holiday orders and first open days.
So you were the resident baker at your work, but how did you actually start this?
When a friend of mine has suggested to do a small pop-up market.
Okay.
And I did, and I loved it. Got invited to the P-Town market, which I did that for 3 years. And I loved it.
Isn't it such a great little like warmy space when the farmer's market, I'm telling you, it's something to behold. By the way, we've got Clam Jam and Christmas market coming up in the Mashpee Commons. So please come and join us. Over 200 vendors. It's going to be insane. And we've got hand blown glass ornaments, which I'm so excited for Dominique to come. She's like, I've even brought another glass blower friend. So when I'm not blowing glass, I can talk to people and hand out ornaments. And
perfect.
I was like, yay, because that's we can't split ourselves, even though we want to be 45 people.
Yeah. Just one.
Yeah, right. One. So Brandy went to E4All. Where in your journey did you go to E4All? People were nagging you when you were doing the markets, like you should do this for your business?
No. I actually had losing track of my days.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
Lady, we got a lot going on.
I do. I lose track. Last June, I had some medical surgery. I had a hysterectomy.
Yep.
And at that point, I was no longer working at Scargo. I had taken a step away from restaurants and hospitality, but I was still baking. And I was working for a local eye doctor's office. And I started thinking, I was like, do I really want to go back after, my surgery and just keep postponing doing the stuff that I really love? Or do I just want to kind of like take a leap and go for it?
That's scary.
Very scary.
Right? Leaving your 9 to 5 to say, I'm going to bake things. Yes. I've never been a baker. I did not go to Johnson & Wales. So
no,
I did not have this.
No, none of that. I went to the, what do they call it? The school of YouTube.
That's, it's such a good story. It's really nice to remind people that you don't have to have these big fancy education and backgrounds. It's a love and a passion and a want.
Yes. And just consistent and work
every day.
Yeah. And that was what I did. I took the break. I told them I wasn't going to come back. And then I applied for the E4All program and got in. And then from there, it's just been a crazy blur of 12-ish months.
It helps that you have a pretty supportive hubby.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Very lucky. Danny is very supportive. So
Yeah.
I'm super lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. He won't eat all of my desserts because sometimes I come up with like the flavors. He's like, no.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not realize
Yeah.
he was so picky.
Yes. He's a chocolate and vanilla guy.
Okay, very plain.
Very much
I
chocolate
believe
and
that though.
vanilla.
That seems right.
Yeah. So when I pop something in front of him, he's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a chocolate habanero truffle." Like,
No.
habanero. Like,
Well,
it's good. It's
he's Irish.
good. I
That's fair.
promise. It's good.
We avoid a flavor at
Yeah.
all costs.
Yeah. So he's like, but that is what my daughter is for. She'll come right out. She'll be like, "What's that?" She's like, "I'll try it."
That's amazing. Always must have a trusted taster.
Yes.
Good morning, Deb, Helen, Tom. Thanks for joining us on the show today. Thankfully, we've got a little bit of audio now. If you were joining us on social media, there's always audio happening on lemonadio.com. And we've just invited 400 new tracks, and they're all from local and indie artists. So if you've not listened to Lemonadio in a while, this week we're going to be shifting a little bit into some new tunes. So definitely come and check us out as we've got some new programming happening. There's always that reinvention, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
It's always changing your space.
Yeah.
So you started with all of these recipes. A lot of them hit the trash bin.
Yes.
At what point were you like, I'm not doing this anymore? Were you ever like, this is just not for me, or just you had the support?
No, it was more like, I might take a break from this recipe for a couple of months, but I'm going to come back.
Okay.
And that was what I did, especially with like my macarons. A traditional macaron is difficult enough.
So hard.
But
my husband had this in his brain. Oh yeah, forget it.
Is even, oh my goodness. So I would try for weeks and weeks and weeks at a time, and then I would have to step away for, a good solid 2, 3, 4 months.
The amount of almond flour, confectionery sugar, and those mats upstairs that were like oh my God, I'm like, you are killing me.
Yes.
And he made them for like a full week all the time, and then that was it. Like, this is how my husband's hobbies go. He's got to do it. He's got to perfect it, and then he moves on. I'm bored of that.
Yeah, you got to master it. You have to know that you can do it. Like when you're half asleep and you're, like, But now I've got, the traditional ones. Obviously, I had those down a while ago, and it took a while. But last year, I mastered the vegan macaron.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So next up is going to be the vegan eclair.
Okay.
Yeah, we're working on it. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
So do you do these all the time? Do you find that you're now seasonally baking? Do you find that people come to you for a certain thing? Like you said, you were the scone lady for a while. You were the vegan scone lady.
Yes. Yeah, folks come to me for, I would say my gluten-free chocolate brownies are probably vegans and non-vegans. Like I get texts all the time. Hey,
because chocolate's chocolate.
Chocolate is chocolate, and my brownie is vegan and gluten-free, but it's super soft, it's super fudgy, and it's really just like,
I feel like that's healthy,
and it's ish. Put a little peanut butter on top of it there for you. But yeah, I get a lot of texts for that one and my donuts.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Vegan donuts. We've got Brandy Walsh here, owner of Herbivore Patisserie. We're just talking about her story because I'm just so fascinated how someone goes from a glimmer of an idea and I like to bake for my friends to you're opening your first brick and mortar this month.
Yes. Knock on wood.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yes.
Whether it's this month or next month, we're pushing for this month.
Yeah.
What made you decide I need a storefront? Because you've had success. Yeah. She's got the vending machine in the mall, and you service that every single day.
I am there every day. Occasionally I can get away with like skipping a day if I stock it properly, but typically you want to be there every day because it's technology.
Baked goods. Yeah.
Well, it's baked goods. You want to rotate it, but the machine itself is very techy. So you need to make sure that it's been told that it's a good machine. It's going to work well today. You're not going to have any, you're not going to cut off from the Wi-Fi and,
Can we talk? Where did you decide to get this? Did you go to Vegas, and after a trip in Vegas, you're like, I'm doing this?
No. Years ago, me and Danny took our daughter to Disney.
Yep.
Disney World.
Yep.
And Sprinkles Cupcake was actually the first cupcake company to have a cupcake ATM.
Okay.
And they happen to have one in one of the little shopping districts inside one of the parks. So I went there, obviously, like every day we were there and like, played with the ATM. I got my sprinkle cupcake.
Yeah.
And was super excited. And then we went, I think, to Vegas a handful of years later, and it's more prevalent there.
Yeah, mainstream. It's regular.
It's more regular there. So I'm like, that would be so cool.
Weird. Cape Cod is late to get things. I would have never have known.
Yeah. A little weird.
It is inspirational, her story. Absolutely. What's up, Michael, Tara, Elaine, Andra, Rai? Thanks for joining us on the show today. We're talking to Brandy Walsh, Herbivore Patisserie owner, about her decision to put this amazing machine in the Cape Cod Mall. And it's just cool. It draws, it brings people.
Yeah. I mean, when I first put it in, I would sit kind of off to the side and watch.
Yep.
Partly because I wanted to make sure that it was working right.
100%. You put your trust in something.
Into this
It's a machine.
Yes. And then partly because I wanted to see the reactions.
Mm-hmm.
And when it was first put in, some of the reactions that I would see people walk up were, it was just,
that's amazing.
The eyes and especially the little kids.
And how did you figure out all of your, price points and your time and your value? I feel like that's some things that we forget as entrepreneurs, is to value our time. And so then we get stressed out about overpricing things, even though we know what the cost is. But then we don't factor in how much work, how many tears went into this machine.
Yes.
How many nights I chose not to go out to have pizza or whatever it was. The amounts that you cut yourself off of doing things, like, we don't value that.
Yeah. There is an app that I have on my phone, thankfully, that I can input the recipe and what I pay for my products and how much the recipe produces, and it will generate, this is what it costs you per batch or per cake.
Okay.
So that's like a starting point.
That's nice.
And then I literally researched all of the local bakeries and places around that sold cupcakes and cookies and brownies. And I looked at their price points, and I didn't want to be obviously crazy high because I want people to be able to afford to splurge every now and then on a treat. But at the same time, I need to also pay my lease. I need to pay my insurance, my ingredients, and
all the stuff that people forget when they're purchasing something, and they're like $6, $8, $10, $12, whatever it is. Then don't buy it.
Yeah.
I just get really frustrated a lot, especially with local homemade things. The amount that it takes to produce one item is monumental compared to just buying it from Amazon, which you don't really have to fight with, but you do fight with the grocery stores, but not really. You've created your space that's vegan. So you are needed.
Yes, it is definitely needed. A lot of my clients, a good portion of them are certainly vegan by choice, but a lot of them are allergic to the normal traditional ingredients that would go into something. They're allergic to eggs. They're allergic to, anything dairy. So I did a birthday cake last week for a young man turning 8. And when his mom reached out, he is allergic to both eggs and dairy. And so he's never had an actual themed birthday cake before.
Oh.
So that is just alone, when you're a mother, that's heartbreaking, especially if they catch you on the right day. It's extra heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, let me help you. So I made him a Star Wars Darth Vader cake. We put a little topper on it that like breathed just like Darth Vader does, and some cupcakes with little lightsabers on
Amazing.
them. And their family isn't fully vegan. They just avoid, the milk and the dairy because of his allergy. But so everybody that was invited was nowhere near vegan at all. And she wrote me back. She said, he loved the cake. Everybody loved the cake, and nobody knew.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's where you want to be, that sweet spot where you're making something happen for somebody that never had that option.
Yeah. It puts a smile on your face when you get that. And, like, oh my God, this was, I've never had one before. This was fantastic. Thank you.
You are fearless. I would be absolutely terrified to do something wrong and make someone ill, or do something wrong and upset their dietary whatever by accident and or otherwise. I feel like you have to be a little bit crazy and a little bit fearless to be like, we're just going to do this. What's your dietary thing? I'm going to do it.
Yes. There's a lot of research, and I'm still researching. So if I have a new client that comes in and it's something that that I'm not super familiar, I don't really know that well, I'll be standing in the grocery aisle on my phone scrolling, searching, is this vegan? What goes in this? What could make this not vegan? Like just stand for 20, 30 minutes.
Sitting there
in the
going
grocery
through
aisle.
ingredients, because sometimes they're tricky and sometimes they mislabel things. Sometimes they write things wrong. Good morning, Cindy. Thank you for joining us. Danielle, Billy, Laura, Jane. Hello and good morning from the studio here. We've got Brandy and all of our veterans today. Thank you very much for your service. We appreciate you. Taking on that, I feel like it's a lot to go through all of it. You have to be meticulous.
Yeah.
You have to be very specific. You have to be vigilant.
Yes.
And all of that when you're baking for dietary needs. When you decided this niche, you were like, we're doing it.
Yeah. You just have to, everything has to be, sugar gets stored separate away from everything. And traditional flour gets stored separate over yonder this way. And the gluten-free flour, that's going to go way over there.
Yeah.
So that when you're scooping out, you're scooping out your sugar, and then you can go to either side of the room for whichever.
And do you color code things, or I don't know. Everybody has a different system.
I'm not that like detailed as far as like, color coordinate, but I do have a rather large notebook at home that I flip through every day, and that's got like a lot of my information stored on there.
Yeah.
And just, and my to-do list.
Well, that is never short.
Yeah.
Thank you very much to our friend Marty Brummel from the Greater Hyannis Chamber, who said, Stephanie, if you have got 5 things on your to-do list and you scratched off 3, it's a good day.
Yes.
Like I scratched off 1 yesterday, and I was just like, I felt like a hero. I was like, I got this albatross off my back.
You got to take the small wins sometimes.
That has not been something that I've been succeeding in lately. It's one of those things where I just feel so overwhelmed a lot with a lot of new tasks. And I know that I'm not just going to walk into something new and be perfect at it. Also, but that's stressful because it's just the shift. I think we're all here at the end of the year trying to get last minute things done, trying to get that push to get that storefront open, trying to do all these things in this time frame that we've created for ourselves. And I want to just remind everyone that there is tomorrow, and give yourself a little grace today. I know it is a day off for a lot of people. A lot of people are out there, and thankfully, the weather looks like it's going to cooperate with us. A lot of parades, a lot of gatherings, a lot of memorials, a lot of fun celebrations for our veterans. So thank you to all of our veterans out there today. I'll be popping over to our Mashpee town, and I think it won't be raining on us, so that'll be good. My first day of work was last week for the Mashpee Chamber of Commerce,
which is exciting.
And I was kind of going through the office and cleaning stuff up, and I found this plaque from a fallen soldier, a PFC Conlon. And I was like, this belongs on a bench or a tree not behind my cabinet in my office. So I grabbed it, did a little research, reached out to Chris Ball at Mashpee TV. He talked to Mary at the rec department. Like, this was all hands on deck. What do we do with this? Like within 1 day. And that was really, really incredible. Heroes in Transition. Cindy Jones was like, this is who it is. This is his mom. This is where this belongs. So I'm going to the veteran ceremony today to deliver the plaque and make sure it goes. There's another plaque out there in our veterans like celebration area in Mashpee in our Veterans Park with his name on it. But this one I feel like belongs to the family and not sitting in my office. So it was like one of those moments where I was like, I did something today. It was nothing that I was supposed to do today.
But you did something.
But I did something today. So I think that that's the rabbit holes that we get on when we're doing stuff for our own businesses. Sometimes we're just going to let the day go and dictate itself. Sometimes.
Yeah.
How are you dealing with the vending machine, servicing it, trying to open your new store, and servicing your orders? How is that balance for you right now?
It's all in my notebook. It literally is. It's in my notebook. I probably spend 20 minutes in the morning. I get up, I make my water, I make my little pre-workout because I have to get my workout in early in the morning.
Good girl. Good lady.
Well, I like to be in bed by 6:37.
Same.
Because I'm up early. I want to be in bed.
We are that schedule.
So yeah, I get up early, I get my workout in. I go through my checklist. Well, like I have it for today was here.
Yep.
And then obviously I'm gonna do a little bopping around the area after to see if there's anything that the stores in this side of the Cape have that they
There you
don't
go.
have
Check it
for the
out.
store
We
shop.
got a
Yep.
great little spice shop in Mashpee
Yeah, I'm
Commons.
gonna go check that out. And then I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna check the machine, check the app. I have a little app on my phone, and I can see what it's
That's
sold,
nice
what
when
is. Yep.
when technology actually cooperates with
Yes,
you
yes, we
and
love that.
assists you in your work.
Yes. So we'll probably end up over to the mall and put a few things in there, and then hit BJ's because that's where I got to get a bulk of my ingredients from. Because even though I've been a licensed and insured residential baker for 3 or 4 years now, I cannot get access to somewhere that a restaurant can get access to, like Cisco
Correct.
or anything like that, because I have a residential address.
Okay.
So I am stuck paying larger prices, even though BJ's is better.
Right.
I still pay more than I could if
So that was the push for the brick and
It was
mortar?
part of it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. To be able to access those business prices, because when you're a residential baker, a lot of the companies don't look at you as a legit business.
hmm
So having that storefront and that place where they can deliver it to will
That's a
help.
great
Yeah.
conversation to have, is the legitimacy of your business. I think all entrepreneurs go through that space of imposter syndrome, and
Yes.
then when you're being told no, you don't have this space, then
Yes.
you're not going to get these perks of business,
Right.
which is tough
Yeah.
because it's that gray area, right? That small space between small and big, that medium
Yeah.
area.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
like, where am I here?
We're just kind of we're stuck in the
It's
middle.
the
Yeah.
limbo for
Yeah.
sure. Jen Christian, good morning. Hey, Dave, John, Karen, thank you so much for joining us. Ashley Irene, another one of our favorite business
Ashley.
owners
Yes.
inside of Mashpee
Yes.
Commons.
I'm wearing one of the jackets from her store.
Ooh,
Yeah.
she's got an Ashley Irene on today.
Mhm.
She saved my bacon the other day. I was like, I need this, and I'm having a headshot, and I need you to make me look like I'm a professional. And she's like, hold please.
Yes. Yes.
And got it done. So shout out to our small business friends and our E for All alums.
Yes. Yes.
I
All of them.
We have so many great ones,
Yes.
and in
Yes.
so many spaces.
Yeah. Oh, they're everywhere. They're popping up everywhere.
I know. I love it though. It's great to see people with great ideas pushing the needle and having people and a support system to support them into that journey.
Yes.
It's hard. You're out there alone sometimes.
It's tough.
Do you sit in your pile of sugar and cry sometimes? Because
well, I mean, you can't cry. I'm not supposed to cry into the sugar, but yes, I have a few mental breakdowns
yeah.
where, a step away. I'm like, I can't do this today. I can't bake today, or I can't,
What do you do on the
yeah.
days that you can't bake? Because we've had some tough moments.
Yeah.
Especially in the past couple of weeks.
Yes.
Just like some space. I had this time yesterday where I was like, I had a good cry, and then I got up, and then I went back to the camper because we're refitting it to be a service camper
and
for the farmers, and it's got to be done. Right. It just has to be done.
It has to get done. Yeah.
So I did. I had a cry, changed my clothes,
Yeah.
and I went back to work.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got. Sometimes I'll go and I'll get, I'll go and get a treat. I'll go get like an oat milk latte from Starbucks.
There you go.
Like my little guilty pleasure. Or sometimes I will just turn on Netflix or my baking shows that I have like built up in the DVR.
Yep.
And I'll just put on comfy clothes and sit there on the couch and watch baking shows.
There you go. That's your safe space.
That it is. Yes.
Seriously, though, we all have to have them, and we have to be reminded that it's okay to have those days, because I think a lot of the time we are superhuman and like we can't dysfunction today.
No,
we don't have time for the dysfunction today.
No. But sometimes there's no way around it.
Yep. You got to lean into it because it's going to get you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What's up, Tom, Lisa? We've got so many great, wonderful people joining us. Ritual Cape Cod, I think South Yarmouth.
Yes. Love them.
Oh, well, she says, oh my gosh, where are you opening?
Girl, I'm opening right around the corner from you. We're going to
be
in the same plaza. I'm just going to be on the other side.
How amazing is that?
Yeah.
We've got our Salty Witch Market that is coming up on the 8th of December. I will be there.
I will be there.
Hanging out.
Yes.
Chatting with everybody. Tons of great vendors that are going to be there. And hopefully you'll be open then.
I am hoping to be open then, because I'll have to have, because I'll definitely be at the Salty Witch Market. I'm super excited. I'm so glad she got her new space. I'm glad she was able to bring the markets back. So I will definitely be there. And then I'm hoping to corral my daughter into watching the storefront for me so that I can have both going.
Isn't it that struggle of balance? You and I were talking before we got on today about just that balance and kind of leaning into the people that you've, trusted to be in
Yes.
your business and trusted
Yes.
to be working with you. And we're training some new hosts right now as I shift out of that part of my business. And Lisa Z, you've been awesome at sending me some amazing humans. And so we've got Freddie and Rachel and Luke and some new hosts that are coming to Lemonadio. And I've got to not, I have a hard time letting it go.
Yeah.
But it's also like I trust. I've seen you. I know you can do it. I know you're with it. And just letting them fly a little bit, but you need help.
You do.
You
Yeah.
have to lean.
You need a little. Everybody needs a little help. So she is, I mean, she's busy herself. She has a full-time job. She has, a very great boyfriend.
Right.
And, so I don't want to take up too much of her time, but at the same time, mommy raised you.
I love this. This is the guilt.
I went to all your school events.
100%.
I bake for your office.
Both of my children work for us.
Yes,
Both of
yes.
them do. And you've seen them at the
Yes.
markets and you've seen them hustling and helping you in your businesses. They both do it. And I think it's important for them to see the value of that. And I think that they love helping because they know it's partly theirs.
Yeah. Oh, she loves it.
Yeah.
I think one of her first questions was, so when it takes off and you're like successful, are you going to employ me there full time and I'll just help? And I'm like, well, we can discuss that. That would be
right.
I would like that, like a mother-daughter business.
How cute.
That. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tomas wants to know if he can get an Herbivore Patisserie ATM in his home.
I mean, you could invest in the vending machine and I would be more than happy to come and stock it for you, but it takes up a lot of space it's bigger than I expected.
It's a little bulky.
It's a little bulky.
Yeah, right.
Bulky.
Holly says goodbye waistline.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Welcome to Yarmouth.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of branching more ATMs or the bandwidth right now? You're good with what you've got.
I am good with what I have. I don't want to, that's why I kind of waited, because the ATM went into the mall a little over a year ago.
Has it made its money back? Has it made its investment back?
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Then you've won.
Yes, and it's helped get me recognized a little bit more.
That's cool. We don't have any of that.
Right, and it's built up some business partners. I've actually made friends with other bakers in other states because we're all in these little group chat communities. And when I posted it, I got a ton of messages. Where'd you get it? How can I get it? Was it expensive?
100%.
And I answered every single one.
Oh, that's awesome. That's important.
Every single one. It took a few days, but I answered every single one. And I actually
because that's collaboration. That's really important to have that conversation that people are like, me, mine, and no, you can't have it. No, you can't have my information. And I think that drives me crazy.
No, sharing is caring.
Thank you.
Sharing is caring.
Brandy, it's so nice to be next to you this morning.
I helped, and we're now really good friends. We're planning to visit and meet in person, but I helped a friend in Tennessee that I had just met in one of these groups, and she asked questions, and I helped her get through. She has hers now over there in Nashville, Tennessee, and now we just talk on we get that weekly text. Hey, have a good week. What are you doing this week? Let's plan a trip, get together sometime soon.
See, look at you building community.
Yeah, I love it. I love helping other people.
Yeah, it's important to do that, especially when you're a business owner, because you never know when you're going to need help. But it's not because of that, but it's also, you just never know when you're in a space.
You never know. I mean, if it was me and I had not, I did all of this blind on my own. I didn't have anyone.
That's what I'm saying. You're a fearless, crazy lady, and I love it.
A little bit.
Right.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
We are not your normal women. It's okay.
Just a little bit.
We will take a risk, but we will follow through on that risk. And I think it's really important to say that it's not just taking willy-nilly risks.
No. I mean,
I do the research.
Yes, I did as much as I could. I did the research as best as I could, and then I just said, well, kind of here we go.
Yeah, right. So you've got the ATM. You're soon to be opening the brick and mortar, and now you're going to be doing workshops.
Yes. I got to do one. I got to try it out last Mother's Day. I did a Daddy and Me Mother's Day edition.
So cute.
And I was able to hold the workshop because I didn't have a space.
Yep.
So I was able to hold it at Natural Vibe Studio, another E for All alum.
And
Amazing.
She has
a beautiful space. And I held it there, and I had, I think we had a total of 7 or 8 young ones with like 5 dads. And I will say that more than half of these dads signed up on their own to do this with their kids.
I love that.
And then a couple of moms are like, yeah, I signed them up.
Yeah.
So here you go. But they came in, and we helped the kids make little Mother's Day cakes, little bit smaller than that one, but roughly about that size.
By the way, she made this in 45 minutes this morning, and thank you, Tomas. I appreciate you.
45 minutes.
Just a little something I whipped up this morning.
Little something, 5:30 in the morning. But then I also made individual vases with fresh flowers in them. And that was part of the package. When they signed up for it, they got the cake, came in the little box. They got the little tiny vase of fresh flowers to take home and give to their mother because it was Mother's Day.
Yep.
And then I also took a Polaroid picture of each individual family so that they could put that in the flowers for the mom. So she had a way to remember.
Yeah. So cute.
So we're going to do something similar. We're going to do it with cocoa mugs. And again, it's going to be it can be a mom and a kid. It can be a dad and a kid. It can be a mom, a person, anybody.
Whoever. It's 2 of you making this cute little thing, and it's an activity together.
Yeah.
I think that we're all shifting away from stuff and talking about experiences. And I love that this is a nice little experience you can have with whoever is special to you to come and just make something together and have that moment.
Yeah.
Take some photos, create something together that you never would have done or knew how to. Yeah. We love crafting.
Yeah.
Why not craft something that you can eat? That's a lot more fun.
Yeah. And there will be the Polaroid picture with them at the end with their finished product.
That's so cute. Yeah. I've got to say, I am not creative in this realm, painting, crafting, whatnot, but we rented out All Places, another E for All space, and we went over to Lauren's on Friday, and we have all these nutcrackers that we've been painting and creating for the Mashpee Christmas market. And I, had a bunch of my girlfriends and friends and family members. I'm like, everybody come and get over there. Lauren got some E for All people to stop on by and just paint. And I was like, I'm just here for, bleeps and giggles. I'll play music or I'll entertain you. I'll do the little stand-up routine, but I'm not painting because I stink at it. Here I was at the end of it painting them, and I actually really I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I found it very calming. I found it this space that I gave to myself for an hour where I just really zoned out and just did something, and it helped me a lot.
Therapeutic.
Yeah, it was. And I was not expecting it. I was adverse to it.
I'm not doing that.
I wasn't. And then I just found myself into it. So I definitely suggest you do something like it, even if it's not in your space, even if it's not in your creative wheelhouse or something you might have wanted to do. Sign up to do something like it, because I really did find myself zoning out and forgetting a lot of stuff that was weighing me down.
Yeah. Yeah, you get to relax a little. You're working with your hands. They say that that's, really good for the mind and the soul and everything. And, you never know. You might find a new passion, or you might find that, this was not my cup of tea, but I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those workshops are going to be coming as soon as she opens. So we'll have to wait and watch.
Yes.
But December, you can make me this. Might be a nice little craft or get together. Sometimes it's awkward with family members in town and holidays and weird dysfunctional families. This might be an activity you can do that's like low pressure.
Yes.
That's what I always say with our trivias and our music bingos. I was like, it's a low pressure date. You're safe. You're amongst a bunch of people. If there's an awkward moment, we're filling it with fun and conversation.
Yeah. You get out of the house for a little while.
Exactly.
You get to step away from all the stress and just kind of forget about everything else once you walk through the door.
November is a really tough month because it gets dark so soon, and people feel like, okay, we're just going to hunker down, get the wagons out and go to bed at 4, which is fine for you and I, but not for everyone.
That is me.
Right. And so it can be a lonely time. People start to get into their seasonal affect disorder.
Yes.
So I just want to remind everybody that there are things you can do and activities you can do to get out there and kind of stave that away until we can get into some funner times.
Yes.
We'll be waiting to do that. What other treats have you brought for us here? What have you magicked up?
I brought a little sample of everything.
Incredible.
These are the vegan sugar cookies.
How on earth do you have like a 3D something rather?
I do not. I used an artsy crafty stamp and some edible ink, and you just kind of dab it on the little tip of the rubber stamp and just pop it on.
So cute.
Yeah.
And it's just dye?
It's just that little edible ink. And you could even do it with if you don't want to use a traditional edible ink, which is going to have obviously like dyes and stuff in it.
Yeah.
You can use natural colors. You can go get, purple sweet potato powder or what is it? I forget what it's called. The black charcoal powder. You can get that and you just add a little bit of like clear vanilla extract and turns into a little paint, and then you can just do the same thing. You just dab it on and
very cool. I love that. What else have we got over there in the box? Little boxes.
Let's see. This is the brownie that everybody loves.
Is this some of the stuff that you can find in your vending machine at the mall?
The brownies are always in the vending machine, although the flavor on top changes.
That looks evil.
So right now the brownie is just a double chocolate brownie. I don't know if any.
That's huge.
But yeah, I don't believe in a small dessert.
I appreciate this.
So
I don't believe in a small dessert.
I don't believe in a small dessert. So this is the flavor that's in there now. The next flavor that is going to go in is going to be a habanero brownie.
Okay.
With a salted caramel glaze on top.
Sweet and spicy. All right. I dig it.
Yeah, sweet and spicy. I like it. And then little, because, some people do have their little allergies. So we have the little gluten-free vanilla chocolate cupcakes that go in there because some people can't have.
That's it.
And then the ones that took me forever.
What is that? Oh,
it's the vegan macarons, and you can occasionally find them in the machine. Not super very often because the ingredients to make these are
so
for me
expensive.
At the moment expensive. But I'm hoping that changes. With having an actual storefront, and I can get prices a little bit better, which means I can then better the prices with all my products. Is hoping. But yeah,
those are perfect. And it's incredible to me that you did that with no egg whites.
No egg whites.
How is your magic?
No
egg whites. This is sorcery.
Yeah. Yes. No. Some people can do them with aquafaba. I never had any success with that. Like never. They were flat, they were hollow, they melted right out. So I use potato protein.
Okay.
A little bit of water, potato protein, whips up just like meringue.
Honestly, did you even understand that Brandy Walsh is over here doing alchemy at this point in time to feed us some cool things from stuff we already have?
Yes.
I had no idea that was a thing.
It is a very big thing for vegan worlds. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yes. Mousses, obviously the macarons.
Yeah.
And just, the meringues or the I'm so bad with pronouncing, the
whatever, it's French.
Nice little soft meringue nest shells, and then you put like your fruits and gooey stuff in the middle.
Yeah, in Portuguese we call that scooch, but I don't know what it's called in any other language, and that's pretty much the only thing that I know. And I'm impressed. I can't even do it with egg whites, let alone other potato proteins.
Potato protein, yeah, potato protein.
That's incredible. Yeah. What else that you want everyone to know about your business, your new upcoming store, Brandy Walsh, the Herbivore Patisserie that we've not talked about today?
I do want to let everyone know that during the month of December, I am going to be taking donations for the, see, my memory is so bad.
Independence
House. Thank you. Because I grew up in a not so fantastic household upbringing. So I understand what it's like to have to leave your house in the middle of the night. Sometimes you're leaving without shoes. Kids are leaving without, their favorite blanket or their favorite stuffed animal, a toy. You're out the door.
Mm-hmm.
So I will be taking donations, anything from, they're going to need toiletries. They're going to need gift cards, gas cards, food cards, maybe some gift cards so they can get like the kids some stuff for school, or just replace maybe that toy or that stuffed animal that they were not able to bring.
Comfort items. Yeah. So you'll be collecting those for the month of December.
All throughout December. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Go and support Brandy. And the minute we hear about your opening, please share it
I
with
will let
us.
you know.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yes.
because it's
Yes.
perfect. Where can people find
Mhm.
you if they want to book you for special events, or maybe they got questions, or maybe they got dietary concerns that maybe you've never heard of, or they think they are alone
It's
because you're
possible.
not?
You can always find me on Instagram, on Facebook. You can message me straight through there. I'm usually pretty good about responding the same day, unless I've got something crazy going on. Then you might hear from me the next day. I do have a website, www.herbivorepatisserie.com,
And if
where
you
you
can't spell it, just
can
talk to
just
your phone.
talk to your phone. Or I think at this point, if you Google vegan bakery on Cape Cod, I think that
You
it
should
does
be
pop up.
there.
I'm
Good.
pretty sure it does pop up. Yes.
That's awesome. We have a Facebook user that wants to know where the storefront's going to be.
It is going to be on Station Avenue, 474 Station Avenue, in the Stop and Shop Plaza, right behind Mirror Image Salon.
We're really looking forward to it. Happy anniversary to our friends on the West Coast, Don and Ken. Congratulations, you two. You're my favorite couple. You're always doing quirky, weird things, and I love you to pieces. Ken is the voice of Lemonadio and used to be on Pixie back in the day.
Oh,
I know, right?
okay.
All of us people, we stick around, we check each other out, we support each other, and that's really what we're asking you to do this holiday season. We've got a great Shop Local campaign going on in Mashpee. I'm sure you do in your town. There are so many people that are participating, and you can get your passport by stopping into our friends over at Ashley Irene. Grab that as one of the stores and get your little stamps on all of your passport to win some great prizes. But just a shift and purchasing locally will really make a difference this holiday season for a lot of our small businesses that are definitely struggling. Every single day we read on social that there's another one that's going out of business or isn't continuing, whether it's Dragon Light on Main Street in Hyannis, which I thought would be there forever. I know. I was like, not that I have been in there anytime soon, but I mean, it's one of those things where you always expect they'll be there forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just not the case. So unless we're supporting these local businesses, they're not going to be making it. So we definitely suggest you to shift to that. This Sunday, we are having the Clam Jam in Mashpee Commons. It looks like it's going to be sunny. It looks like it's going to be 58. We've got the Conspiracy of Noise that's going to be entertaining us. We've got mermaids and tanks, and it's going to be cold. But it's going to be a fundraiser for our lemonade, which is bringing free food to all of our food vendors for our farmers markets. We don't charge them any vending fees.
That's
So
awesome.
we'd like to continue to do that in 2025 because it's hard enough to be a farmer as it is. And especially in our town of Mashpee, where we have one farm, shout out to Sprout Farms, but we have no working farms in our town. It's a food desert. So we do need to bring some fresher options to our space. And we're working on it right now. They said, so close to my house. There goes the diet I wanted to start.
I will have some sugar-free options too.
I feel like that's how it's vegan and sugar-free. It's healthy. And it's going to taste good because you've done the research.
Yeah. I've done the trial and error a lot.
Well, you know what? It's worth the calories when you know it's going to be tasty and it's going to be fitting on whatever it is that your diet has. We've got a new trivia popping up this week over at New Seabury. We're back. Robin is going to be your host November 14th. So if you're looking for a little bit of trivia options and looking for something new, we didn't even get an opportunity for Brandy to show you her fabulous boots, in which I fell in love with at the lip sync battle that you did.
Yes.
It takes somebody fearless to get up there on the stage and lip sync to an auditorium full of people that are staring down at you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like I picked
you did good.
An interesting song for that. It was like, well, here I am.
I love the fact that you said you would do it next year because you're like,
I definitely plan on
you've got more to give.
Yeah. It was fun. It was very fun.
And in all of her free time, learning lip sync routines and getting up on stage. So,
well, I used to teach dance aerobics.
I love it.
So it wasn't too terribly hard to kind of
get a
throw
routine
something together and get it memorized. But in front of people with the bright lights, and everything, it was
being on stage and having people stare at you like a zoo animal. You're welcome.
Yeah. But thankfully, I couldn't really see anything because the light was bright.
Perfect. Yeah, that's how it should be. Brandy Walsh, owner of Herbivore Patisserie, please stop back in again and share your treats with us. Let us know when you're having workshops. We'll put them on the events coordination list and get them out there to everybody because sharing is caring.
Yes.
You've shared a lot with us today, and I appreciate you so much. And thank you, everybody, for sticking with us through some of our social media issues this morning. We got the volume up, and we're ready to start the day. Thanks once again to our veterans. Hank is coming up with our lunch break here. What's up, Ricky B? And we'll see you guys later. Have a good one.
Thank you.
I cannot wait for your store to open.
Me too.
And I can't wait I want to actually cut into these things here.
Yes. You have to try one.
Obsessed with them right now. Bye, everybody. Have a good day.